welcome. It's that time again. Got the fresh cut. What's happening? It's time for another episode of Tree City Trading. I'm Tree City Wes. Got a short show, short Monday, not too much going on. We're going to take a look at Pulsechain. We're going to take a look at the Zen ecosystem. We'll look at Zen Doge and some stats on Zen Turbo. Going to talk a little bit about the U.S. Treasury, the debt ceiling crisis that's going on. We're going to take a look at some crypto charts and see what's happening in the news. So hope everybody's having a good Monday. Good Sunday, yeah. I hope everybody's having a good, relaxing Monday. Hope you all had a nice day at work if you're working. Shout out to the 4 watchers. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and share. And as always, we'll start the show out with Bitcoin on the daily. And you can see, I mean, it really can't get much more sideways than this. We've been in the same range since May 11th, over a week. Almost 2 weeks, coming up on 2 weeks, just stuck between 26,500 and 27,500, just in this $1,000 range of Bitcoin. Very boring. It was hurting some altcoins earlier the last 2 days, but right now it looks like we got a little pump, so that's kind of exciting. Take a look over at crypto bubbles on the daily chart. You can see Hex is taking a bit of a hit, down 16%. As people continue to move over to Pulsechain, they're moving from their Ethereum, Hex from Ethereum over to Hex on Pulsechain. So that's kind of to be expected. We do have a couple pumps out there. We got Conflux, CFX. We got Kava pumping again, another DeFi protocol. We got Tron, TRX up 4%. I wonder if there's any news there. And we can see some familiar ones up here. XRD Radix, that's one of my favorites, up 4% on the day. We got Chainlink and Matic up 1.5%. They're both in my portfolio. So welcome. Let's take a look at our watch list here. Oof. You can see Hex on Ethereum is down 19%, sitting right about 0.022 cents. So just under 2.5 cents for Hex on ETH. Looks like the VMPX token is taking another little hit too, down to 7 cents on the day. Still holding my VMPX in my Unisat wallet, but we'll come back to that in a couple years. That's kind of a for fun bag. Got to say I participated in the whole inscription thing. You can see Zen USDC pairs down quite a bit on Ethereum, down 13% on the day. So we had a pretty big run up, but we're kind of coming back to normal here. Another project that I like a lot that I've been talking about DCAing into is Singularity. Looks like they're down about 5% on the day, and they've just been hanging around this golden pocket. You can see they're kind of just consolidating. Things are cooling off after a big couple months of pump. Fetch AI, another AI projects. I mean, all these charts look the same. Just kind of a rolling over action on the chart. You had this big pump up. It went parabolic for a little bit, and now we're just kind of rolling over slowly, coming back to reality, trying to find that price zone. Harmony One. I actually sold my bag of Harmony the other day at quite the substantial loss, but wanted to move it into some other projects that I do have faith in. You know, I did mint a couple Zen NFTs with that profit. Bought a little more Cardano, a little more Polygon, some more Ethereum, participate in the Zen ecosystem. What else? What do we have moving up here today? You can see Blocktopia up 17%. Wonder if there's any news on Blocktopia. This was another long hold for me that's down substantially. It's a metaverse project. Let's see. Curious if they have any news. See what Blocktopia is doing. Proposal number 3. How much of the total supply should be burned? A clear vote of 40%. Ah, so they're burning 40% of their supply. It's interesting. We got Avalanche coming up 2.5%. Got a nice green pickle on the day. Cardano up 2%. It's good to see. Matic about 2%, so not too much crazy action though. You see we're just staying in the same range, just like Bitcoin. Not much going on at all. Yeah, let's pull up the old DEX screener here so we can see how the ecosystem tokens are going. Take a look at Zen, see how Zen Doge is doing. I found this is a pretty cool feature in DEX screener. You can actually set different watch lists. So now I got my Pulsechain, my Zen, my Phoenix, my DB Zen watch list with all the different chains. What's up, Louis Lips, IPX? We'll check it out. But I want to come over here to Zen, see how these are doing. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty red day. You can see, especially on Pulsechain Zen, that's down 66% on the day. And that's kind of what you expect. Zen's doing the thing that it does, just like when it launched on Ethereum. It takes a couple days to get that liquidity built up, but holy shit, look at that. Someone fat fingered a buy there. That's wild. That is kind of cool though. It's actually holding. When it said it was down 66%, I didn't think it was actually not making new lows. That's interesting. So even as people continue to mint and claim their supply, the price isn't coming down too much. That's a good sign. This pair only has $54 of liquidity though, so that's not a good sign. Go back to our watch list here. Looks like Matic Zen is up a little bit today, about 10% in the last day. That's good. That's a good, healthy looking chart. Let's zoom out a little bit. Hopefully it found its local bottom here. When was this? May 19th. Maybe we'll just continue to see this nice steady uptrend. You kind of see we're in this pattern. We did break out of it, but we came right back to it. So the price does kind of want to stay in these bounds. But hopefully this uptrend continues for Zen on Matic. Ooh, that reminds me. I think I actually have a couple mints due. Let's check it out before I forget. See if these Polygon RPCs are still messed up. Hello, Ali. Hello, Howler. What's up, Louis Lips? Shout out to the 5 watchers. Hope you guys hit like, subscribe. All right, I believe I have some NFTs due. Let's take a look. Where'd they go? We having RPC problems again. Switch to a different RPC. Basically, your RPC is the node that you're connecting into the network, and sometimes nodes go offline, sometimes they're slow, sometimes they'll block certain types of traffic. So you can notice I have Polygon mainnet, Polygon network. These are all different nodes, different RPC addresses. So I'll switch over to this one, and we'll see if I can see my NFTs. For some reason, the one that MetaMask recommends has been having a lot of issues lately. At least for me. Alright, do I have any ready to go? Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was my last. Let's see what time this one's due. 10:54 UTC. So I think that's pretty soon. I think that's like 10 or 15 minutes. No, it's tomorrow morning. Nice. All right, well, I guess I don't have any to claim. That's unfortunate. Go back to the Zen Doge website, see where we're at with the burn. On Saturday, it was nuts. We got up to a 1 trillion Zen burn in the first 2 hours, and since then, there really hasn't been much. Looks like there's about 92 billion burned since then. So in the first 2 hours, we burned 1,000 billion, 1 trillion. And since then, we've burned 92 billion. Let's take a look at the chart over on Dex Screener for Zen Doge. Looks like earlier today it was having a little pump, but with Bitcoin and everything coming down, I'm not sure if it's still the case. Here, we'll switch over to our watch list here. Yeah, it looks like it's down 15% in the last hour. So that's never a good sign. But we're just still in this little zone here, kind of consolidating. Hasn't made a lower low, so that's good. We're making kind of a higher low here. Hopefully that holds. You can see this is the break even that I had for the amount of Zen Doge that I bought with the multiplier bonus. I needed to get back above here to be in profit, but I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. I'm excited to see where this project goes, how much is going to continue to be minted. If you come over here on Zen Turbo, you can see the burning definitely fell off after the launch day. Launch day, 1,046 billion, and then the day after that, there was about 41 billion, and then today it looks like there's about 26 billion. So. And that's kind of expected. Anybody that had their liquid Zen ready to burn, they burned it. So over the last 2 days, anybody that burned had already burned. There's not going to be a bunch of new burners. So it is what it is. But the nice thing is it's still above this launch price right here. So it hasn't come down too hard. There's very light liquidity, only $7,500. It's got $1 million market cap. Very new. We'll be holding that one for the long term for sure. Gas fees are crazy. Oh, I know for sure. Right now we're sitting at 40 Gwei, which is low. That's crazy to say. 40 Gwei is low. A couple months ago, we were getting 10, 15, 20 Gwei. I remember 20 Gwei was high. If it was 20, I wasn't gonna mint any NFTs or burn any DB Zen. Now we're looking at 40, 50, 60 Gwei every day, seeing it spike up to 100 or 200. It gets crazy. It's a cool utility I use from Block Native. It's the Block Native gas fee estimator. Not only does it have Ethereum, it also has Polygon. So you can see the Polygon. Look at Polygon's really low right now. It's under 100. Sometimes that can get up to 300, 400. But Polygon's always cheap. That's nice. So let's see here. So even though the burnings come down a little bit, Zen Doge is still doing its thing. It's consolidating. And this is good. The Gwei has been down a little bit over the last couple days, so you see the price of the C ranks coming down. When it gets in that $4 or $5 range, that's usually when I become a buyer for sure. But it really depends on the Gwei and the gas. If it's under 30, I'm trying to mint some NFTs for sure. This chart's interesting. So this is the new Zen supply. So anytime it's above the 0 line, that means there's more Zen minted that day than burned. And you can see a couple days every so often, the daily new liquidity is negative. So that means there's less supply that day than the previous day. So this really depends on the number of mints and the number of burners, but look at that. The Zen supply on Saturday was negative 878 billion. So there's 878 less Zen than there was the day before. That's wild. It's basically, it's not really deflationary, but you can see as we zoom out here, it's not growing like we thought it would. That's for sure. Wait, where's the one? Yeah, this one. Like you can see this, the mining, it's really just falling off. And all the charts are. You can see like for a minute there we were going kind of parabolic with the new supply, kind of inverted parabola, and now it's starting to go flat. You know, once we hit that 1 trillion, all these burning projects popped up, and the gas price went way high. You can kind of see it's starting to fall off, and as that, it's that Bitcoin effect that I'm always talking about. When moon? That's the real question for sure. Let's come over to Zen.pub. We can actually pull up the meme coin section now, which is pretty cool. Check out Zen Doge. It's burned $2.8 million of USD. Worth the Zen, of course. That's wild. Over 2,000 unique minters participating. Look at that. The next bonus level is 444%. It's coming down. It started at 1,500%, and within 10 minutes, it was down to 1,000. So that's wild. That was a fun show. That was a fun Saturday for sure. Yeah, you can see the burn is minuscule compared to launch day. Only had 17 people burn compared to 116 yesterday, compared to 2,000 that first day. Wonder if I'm on this list. Let's see. No, that's not me. I'm not a top 1,000 burner. We only burned $100. So yeah, it looks like you had to burn over 250 to be in the top 1,000. That's okay. It's just fun. Checking my DB Zen divs. I don't think I got much today. I don't think there's very much action over there. Whew, I got excited. We're on Matic though. I got a whole half Matic. That's nothing. Let's try this new RPC. I'll be surprised if it's 0.01. Yeah. So I got 0.007 ETH. It's probably about $5-10, not much at all. Yeah, so that's exciting. Even though the prices of Zen are kind of coming down, everything's coming down right now, but Zen's fun. There's always new stuff. Keeping up with the minting, keeping up with the burning. Always something to do, even if the price action's shitty like it is today. You can see Phoenix is struggling pretty hard, down 6% in the last 24 hours. Looks like it made a new low today, so that's unfortunate, but it's a great time to buy if you're asking me. See if I got any ETH. I don't think I do. Yeah, only got $25. This music's a little wild. We're gonna have to change this. Yikes. All right, this sounds weird. Lower down the volume, please. Am I too loud? You mean the mic or the music? Welcome to the show. Let's see what we got over on Twitter here. Let's take a look. Always say good morning back. Yeah, not too much going on Twitter. So that's kind of the Zen ecosystem update. The burning's definitely slowed down since Zen Doge launched over the last 2 days. Price is down a little bit on everything, but that's just across the crypto board, crypto markets. Let's pivot over to Pulsechain, see what's going on. Check out plsburn.com. You can see the bridge is almost empty, so that's an awesome sign. Congratulations to the Pulsechain team. They got their bridge issues worked out. It's at 98.3% bridged. It's bridged over $130 million into the Pulsechain, and a couple hundred of that is mine. I've had some good success using the bridge. I bridged over my liquid hex. I bridged over some a couple $100 in stable coins, and here I'll show you what I did. So I am using Pulsex pools, and so far it's working out really well. I'm getting some awesome yield on my Pulsex pools. So let's switch over to the Pulsechain network. Lower down the music volume. No problem, no problem. There we go. So if we come over here to the farms that I'm in, I'm really not putting much. I'm just kind of experimenting. So I basically put in $100 into the big pools. So you can see that the die wrap PLS pool is giving a APR of over 1,300%. So I said, why not? I took $50 a die, $50 a PLS, and I have $100 in here, and I'm making about $10, $15 a day. And I'm basically taking that that incentive token, that INC, harvesting it, selling it into PLS, and then using the PLS to mint NFTs. So these pools are really just becoming a NFT machine for me. I'm getting about $20 to $30 every day. I turn that into that INC, the incentive token, back into PLS, and just continue to mint NFTs. And I know it's not gonna last forever. Obviously, these are pretty ridiculous once more people come over here, but you know, you can see I'm earning a 1,400% on USDT, 1,100%, almost 1,200% on Ethereum. The hex pool is at 469%. The hex pool, so you have the hex from Ethereum paired with the Pulsechain hex, that's given 470%. The DAI PLS pool is given 1375. I mean, these are crazy APRs, and it's definitely not sustainable, but I'm taking advantage of it while it's here, and it's giving me some nice yield. So I just harvest the yield. I take it over to the exchange, turn my incentive token here into some PLS. Getting about a half per day. So half of an incentive token is about $30, and that's giving me about 143 PLS. Can take that 143,000 PLS over to Zen.network, open up the NFTs, and I wonder if we're under 140, maybe I'll mint one right now. Let's take a look. So do the max term, max VMU. Actually, I kind of want to do July 1st just to keep it consistent. Another amethyst class. Yeah, and see, we're nowhere in my. I said under 140 I do it, but we're at 206,000 for PLS for 128 VMU. It's just too much. It's too much. You gotta be careful. Yeah, I'm gonna be minting these NFTs all day, but not at this level. I'll wake up early in the morning and do it when gas is 125, 130, 140 for a 128 VMU max mint. So that's kind of my strategy with Pulsechain right now. I'm really anxious for the PulseX pool to come out. I got about 10 million PulseX PLSX that I got from my sacrifice. So I'm not touching this. I'm not trying to trade this. I'm not trying to do anything with it. I'm not going to risk losing it to impermanent loss in these little pools. I'm just going to keep this separate. If they do release the single-sided pool, I'll throw my PLS6 in there when there's no risk of impermanent loss. But for now, I'm just holding it. It's just a hold for me. And yeah, that's really all I'm doing. So I have these farms. It gives me my incentive token, turn that into NFTs. And that's kind of my thing for Pulsechain right now. Just kind of waiting. It's going to be the long game. I don't think we're going to see a 10,000x next week or anything, but I love how it's working out so far. Just throwing a couple hundred of liquidity and it's turning into a money machine. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, 222,000 PLS. I'm going to pass on that. Wonder if I had any those NFTs on Phantom, if those are all gone too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some more. Phantom's not very lucrative though, because the gas is so cheap. You know, one max mint VMU NFT gets you about a half a Phantom. At least the short mints that I was doing, not the long ones. I forget. I think I have some over on the DevNet. Hopefully I didn't forget about them. It's just the X1 testnet. Yeah, you can see I was doing the 1-day mints, and then I did a bunch of max ones. I thought I was so cool. It was my first Centurion. Then I discovered the other chains, and now they're basically worth nothing. Let's head over to Dex Screener. We'll pull up the Pulsechain watch list, see if we got any movers over here. But yeah, I mean, it looks a lot like Zen Crypto right now. PZen's down 62%. Rat Pulse is down 13%. PulseX is down 13%. Hex is down 8%. Zen Classic's down 3.5%. Incentive tokens recovering a bit though, it looks like. Back over $64. So that's a good sign. And this is wild. This is one of the surprises about Pulsechain is the incentive token is supposed to be the dump token. It's going straight up though. How are people taking profits on their incentive token, but the price is going up? It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I don't think it's going to maintain this price, or maybe it will. Maybe it will just, it does have a very small supply. So some people are saying it might get up into the hundreds of dollars. I feel like this is going to come back down to earth. We'll see. We'll see. Having those liquidity pools definitely helps with the adding the liquidity and jacking this price up. So that's exciting. Got about 6.5 thousand in liquidity in the incentive token. This is the token that you get for putting LP into those pools. So you earn the incentive token, and then this is what I'm selling to get the PLS to mint Zen. It's an awesome machine. It's a really good machine. If we look at the entire Pulsechain blockchain, we're starting to see a lot of scams pop up, like Anonymous, Kishka, 0x Pulse, Pulse Moon, Wagme, Pulsezilla, Pulsey, yikes, Wildfire, Dino. I heard Dino is they built some bridge for their token. That's pretty slick. So that's the Pulsechain update. Not too much going there, just kind of biding our time in the pools, collecting that incentive token. Last thing we're going to talk about today is Janet Yellen. Man, this is wild right here. She had some big announcements today. Here, let's listen to it directly from her. Pause this music here.
Bills on time, stressed. And, you know, I would simply say since 1789, the United States has a history of paying its bills on time. That's what the world wants to see, a continued commitment to do that. It's what underlies U.S. Treasury securities as the safest investment on the planet. And it's not an acceptable situation for us to be unable to pay our fees. And, you know,
So that's the big word. Janet Yellen, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, comes out saying that the U.S. isn't going to be able to pay their bills in the next 2 weeks. That's pretty scary. It's basically the debt ceiling crisis that everyone's been hearing about. And what happens is the United States sets a debt ceiling and they cannot spend more than that debt ceiling. And the problem is the U.S. is spending so much right now that they're going to not be able to pay their bills unless they raise the debt ceiling. And the Democrats are looking for some different ways to push up the debt ceiling. Joe Biden doesn't really want to work with the Republicans. He believes that they can just raise the debt ceiling. Janet Yellen was talking about printing $1 trillion coin and having that be the added liquidity to the market. It's all a sham. They're all just printing funny money. The important thing is if they raise the debt ceiling, they're going to have to print more money, and then the issue is just going to continue to compound itself. So earlier today, Janet Yellen came out saying that The government's going to run out of cash by June 1st. So the Democrats want to raise the debt ceiling and print more money. So that had me wondering what's going to happen if the debt ceiling isn't paid. What happens if the U.S. can't pay their bills? And it's really interesting. So as an initial reaction, the stock market will be in shock. Many believe it'll drop 40 to 50%, and there will be a huge loss in consumer confidence. I'm sure crypto will take a hit. All the stocks will drop, some up to 50%. Basically, the world will lose trust in the U.S., and it'll fall into an instant recession. Millions of people will lose their jobs. The U.S. credit rating would instantly be downgraded. So instead of having the good rating that we have right now, the U.S. credit rating would be restricted default, and U.S. Treasury securities would instantly be downgraded to a D rating. So those are some of the direct consequences, but that has irreparable harm to the image of the United States and the financial stability of the United States. And really that starts to trickle down to the rest of the world. You know, the dollar is going to be worth less. That's going to crash other currencies, and that's really going to trickle down internationally. And what's really interesting is what happens if they don't. How do they pick what doesn't get paid? So Janet Yellen comes out and says they basically have enough runway for a couple months. If they don't raise the debt ceiling after a couple months, they're going to have to take extraordinary measures. And they would do things like suspend payments to government employees and government employee savings programs. When that happens, who's going to come to work for free? You know, government institutions and, fronts, things like the BMV might shut down. If they're unable to pay their employees, no one's going to come to work. And then those government agencies will actually shut down. They'll start under-investing into certain government funds. So a lot of the tax money that gets reinvested, they might just cut that off. They would delay auctions of securities, so banks won't be able to buy securities and earn yield, and that's how banks get paid. So it really just trickles down into the financial system as a whole. Basically, people will lose jobs, prices will go up, there will be less money, they're going to have to print more money, which will cause further inflation, and it's just complete economic and financial disaster. And that's kind of where we're at right now with this whole debt ceiling crisis. So it's definitely something to keep your eye on. We'll see what happens over the next couple weeks. But today it's starting to get real when Janet Yellen's coming out and saying, hey, we only have a couple more weeks to pay our bills. It's now highly likely that the U.S. runs out of cash in early June. That's scary. That's imagine being a government employee, working for some place like some agency or some publicly funded government business or agency. You're not sure if you're going to get paid. They're going to have to cut certain funding, and who knows what that's going to be. Hopefully they don't let it get there, but in the situation that we're in, someone has to eventually stop and say, stop raising the debt ceiling, stop printing more money. We're going to have to go through this hardship. This must be the exact letter. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. I noted that it's impossible to predict with certainty the exact date the Treasury will be unable to pay all government bills. I continue to update the Congress as more info becomes available. With an additional week of information now available, I'm writing to note that the estimate is highly likely will no longer be able to satisfy all the obligations as early as June 1st. That's wild. Waiting until the last minute to suspend or increase the debt limit can cause serious harm to business and consumer confidence, raise short-term borrowing costs for taxpayers, negatively impact the credit ratings in the United States. In fact, we've already seen Treasury borrowing costs increase substantially. So it's just another thing, another domino falls. It really is wild.
Meaning taxes, maybe it's closing loopholes, or maybe it's actually raising a percentage here or there. Is it a hard and fast line? Is the White House going to accept a deal on this to raise the debt ceiling that includes spending caps but does not include any increased revenues or taxes?
Well, look, you know, the White House is negotiating in good faith with the Republicans to try to find a bipartisan solution. I don't want to negotiate in public and put down any red lines, but certainly the president has pointed out, and it's important for the American people to understand, we're all concerned about deficits and fiscal responsibility, but deficits can be addressed both through changes in spending and also through changes in revenue. And the Republicans have taken that off the table. Something that greatly concerns me is that they have even been in favor of removing funding that's been provided to the Internal Revenue Service to crack down on tax fraud. We have an enormous gap between the taxes we're collecting and what we should be collecting.
God, this lady's batshit crazy. But yeah, that's what will happen if they don't pay their bills. If the government can't pay their bills, then it's going to trickle down quick, and we're going to see stocks crash. We're going to see prices fly up, and it's going to be insane.
Of the forecasts that we make, we take pride in the credibility of the forecasts that we make.
Then why are we here, Janet? Why are we here? So I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We'll keep it brief tonight. Not too much going on. Do a nice little 30-minute show. I appreciate everybody coming out. I hope everybody had a good Monday. We went over some Zen news. We talked about the Zen ecosystem and the Zen Doge launch. We looked at Pulsechain, some Pulsechain statistics. Looked at my strategy for how I'm doing the Pulse pools and taking those incentive tokens, turning them into Zen NFTs. Talked a little bit about Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen about the government not having enough money. They got to raise the debt ceiling to pay our bills. Basically, we're a huge embarrassment to the entire world. It's all a clown show. What's up, Driftwood? Driftwood says, why do all you wear sunglasses inside? I wear sunglasses because these brights are bright as shit. It hurts my eyes. If I didn't wear the sunglasses, I'd be sitting here like this the whole time. So, need to get those blue blockers or whatever they're called. Just makes it easier to read the screen with these big lights in my face. Trust me, I don't really care. It's not to look cool. It's because I'm straining my eyes. Good question though. Good question though. All right, we're out of here. Hope you guys have a good day. Have a good Tuesday tomorrow. We'll be back around 7:38 p.m. Again, going over the Zen ecosystem, the Pulsechain ecosystem. We'll be taking a look at Bitcoin and the crypto news, see what's going on. Hope everybody has a good Tuesday. Hope everybody has a good evening. Thanks for watching Tree City Trading. I am out.